Okay guys, welcome back. Let me show you what we've got going on right now. It's Challenger bushings that we're making, and it's strange front end supplemental support bushings. So what we've got here, up on this upper control arm, is this bushing that presses in. This is a new one. This control arm's already been built, and it had these rings that you can hopefully see pressed on before this washer was put on. And that helps to support the bushing. And Dad did a little bit of research because they're kind of unusual. Not everybody's car has these. In fact, most cars don't have those. And what he's found out is that they put them on cars that were going to have a heavier duty service life, taxis and police cars and things like that. I'd love to see a 1970 Dodge Challenger taxi. We're not building one, but anyway, it's going to support that bushing a little better. So what I've got here is a piece of tubing. This is standard tubing available. I got this from Online Metals. I just like to use them. It's 1375 on the outside, and on the ID we've got 1 and 185. And as you can see, that's what our bushing is, just slightly over that. So it should press right on there. And there's 1,000 ways that we could cut this off. It doesn't really matter, because we're in a machine shop here and I haven't parted anything off on the lathe for you guys. I'm going to switch it up over here and we're going to go to the lathe and part a couple of these off. I still recommend that when this is assembled that you would use some sort of Loctite. I think it's a 602 or something that's green bearing sleeve retaining compound that Loctite sells, or maybe a little 2-part epoxy or something to help keep it all together. But anyway, it's a part that doesn't have to be there, but if you're going to put it on there, it's going to support that a little better. So that's what we're up to. Okay, so I hope that gives you guys a pretty good view of what we're doing here. And this isn't a super critical operation, so we're not going to really bother measuring anything or seeing how true it's going to run or anything like that. But I will show you one thing that matters. Whenever you're running a parting tool, or any tool for that matter, you do want to make sure that your bit is level. So this one's from Little Machine Shop, but a lot of people sell them. And that lets you rest your tool right there and rotate it around the stock and make sure it's level. So that's coming in real level. That's going to hit right in the middle, right where we want it. That's just a quick little tool that, if you're not good at eyeballing them or telling how your cut's going, buy one of those, put it on there before you hit it. Let's see, where are we at speed-wise? We're gonna I'm gonna start about 200 RPM sounds good for me. There we go. Now before we start, I will true that stock up. Put a little oil on there so it doesn't just explode your cutter. Now we've got that true. And what I'm going to do is just take a quick measurement. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to take a quick measurement there off of this bushing, somewhere where I can see the edge of it. Just eyeballing it. Looks like about 650. You can just put you some ink down and scribe that line around. That's plenty good for what we're doing right here. Yeah, that's pretty abusive on those calipers, but those are the cheapest and the brokenest of calipers. Like I said, we're doing a quick one-off bushing here. Quick and dirty. And I'm just going to bring that tool around Get that light down there where I can turn the light on so I can see. There we go. And I want the edge of this cutter, this face here, to cut up against that line so that the part that I'm cutting off will be the width that we dialed in there. That's the ticket. And there's the air compressor. We're just eyeballing, and that's pretty close. We'll measure it when we get off there. I'll show you how we did. Put a little bit of oil on it. I hope you can see that. Let's see. How's your shot? It's fair. Can we do better? Be like this. Maybe that's a little better. I think this material is 4,000, 4130 maybe. Steel. Real friendly stuff. By keeping your cutter on the center line of the material there, it's going to cut a lot better, jump around less. Another thing that's crucial with parting tools, if you're not familiar with running parting tools, is that they need to run, right across the face of that material. They can't be coming in at an angle at all. If they do, they'll bind up in the groove that they're cutting and break off. Clear those chips out if they build up. Should be breaking through right about now. There she goes. So the first one's off. Now what we're going to do, back that tool away, Scotch. Ink it up again. We'll come in and scribe another line here. Right there. I'll just bring that around where we can see it. That may be hard for you guys to see, but I can see it. Pro tip, if you've moved closer to the chuck and you haven't turned it on yet, rotate it by hand before you power it on so that you can see that it clears everything. Just get into a habit of doing little things like that on a manual machine. It keeps you from smashing them. As you're feeding in, keep an eye on the jaws and everything. Make sure they're not going to hit your tool holder, stuff like that. You know, everything that you're doing is a one-off on a manual machine. Not everything. I mean, you do run production occasionally, but a lot of what we're doing on a manual machine is just like, oh, I need 2 bushings real quick. I'm too lazy to get a good bandsaw blade on the bandsaw and cut them off, and I want them to look nice. I don't want them to just look like they're bandsawed off. So that's what you do. You make a couple real quick. Okay, so we've got our 2 parts scorching hot. Now I'll show you what we'll do next. Just gonna leave the camera right there and grab the deburr knife. Find me a glove. Got a burr in it. Knife that out of there like that. Whenever you're deburring parts, do yourselves a favor. Keep your tools sharp. Keep your hands gloved. I'm gonna go run these across the grinder just real quick and get that outside edge. Well, there they are. That, right there's 2 bushings that we've just made. Let's see how we did on the keeping them relatively close to the same size. We're shooting for 650. I got 651 there. And I got, 660. That's awful. You know, but not bad. See if it's just, see if that's really it. Oh, that's atrocious actually. But for what we're doing here, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I didn't exactly try very hard. It is nice to hit that one within a thousandth, but yeah, those will make great bushings for what we're doing here. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, and all that stuff. It really does help to grow this channel, and I appreciate those that do. We hope that whatever you're working on out there is going well today. Hopefully you're making some bushings of your own. Let us know what you're working on in the comments below. Thanks.